Hello, I'm going to show you how to translate Little Goblin into another language. First, we got to start Little Goblin inside of IntelliJ IDEA, so we can see the changes that we make immediately in the browser. So this is the start page of Little Goblin. As you can see, we are using the German version of Firefox, but the text of Little Goblin is completely in English at the moment. So where do we find the file of this page, the source file? It can be found in Grails app, views, portal, landing, because it's the landing page. This is a GSP page, a Groovy server page. It mixes HTML with specific Groovy tags, Rails tags. Here is the headline with the About title. This is set here. Every text, or almost every text that appears, is controlled by these message tags. So if you want to have a new text element, you could add it here, and a moment later it would appear in the web page. Of course, there is no translation for new.txt, and so only the message ID is shown here. Now how can we turn this into a real message, a real text? We have to open the internationalization file, the folder, here, and go to the master file, which is messages properties. Inside you can find all message IDs and all texts with their English translation. Now let's have a look at the... So if I want to add the new .text, all I have to do is use the message ID, an equal sign, and the translation. And a moment later you can see the text here. So this is the base English version, but let's create a German translation of this little element. The German message file is much shorter. There is much work left to do, but for the moment I will just translate this element here. As you can see, because we are visiting with a browser that is configured to tell the web server, I want German text, the Grails application will give us this translation. If you were to visit with a French system, you would see the French translation, which at the moment does not exist. As you can see, there are some elements, some message IDs which contain these numbers, or sometimes even more. Those are placeholders and will be filled in by the program code. So that is, if you want to have something like a text which shows how much gold you have, you would do it this way. And later on write code to add the number in this placeholder. Now, if you have a long text, it will at some point be too long for one line, and it will want to add another line. Use a backslash and type another line. Note, you should always have a space between the last letter and the backslash, otherwise the next line may flow into the previous line. And if you do not include a backslash, you can have another message ID right in the next line. So to translate the English messages, you should copy them, all of them, and so on, into the German message file and start with the first message. So as you can see, it is really easy to translate Little Goblin. So that's about all you need to know at this moment about translations. So now choose a message file and start translating.